What's up, everybody? Aaron here from Wingman Garage. So this video has been a long time coming since the treasure hunt ended a couple weeks back at the end of September. And all I want to say is, man, this was way more fun than I thought it was going to be. I wasn't expecting so many people to give me such positive feedback about their experience with the treasure hunt that it was just honestly really humbling, and it really kind of took my breath away to have so many of you call or show up at High Voltage and just talk to me after it was all said and done, and just thank me for putting on something cool for everybody. So I wanted to go through the treasure hunt map that I made with the clues. I've had a lot of people ask me who didn't participate, how it went, how was it, what were the clues, what was going on, how'd you figure it all out? And so I wanted to put together this video to do that and kind of give you guys who couldn't or were unable to participate a little sneak peek of what you might be getting yourself into next year, as I definitely want to do this again. So before I do all that, there's a few people and organizations I want to thank. Whether the Eclipse was your style or not, I think we can all agree that we built a pretty cool car here at Wingman. I mean, everybody got involved. The community car build was something I've wanted to do for a very long time. And like I've always said, it gave people the opportunity to get out from behind the screen and participate in something at no cost. So we definitely took that Eclipse from stock to not, and sure, it was slow, but it looked great. It really did look cool when it was done. And honestly, you just don't see many of those cars on the road anymore. So I think we built something pretty neat. I've had a lot of compliments from other people who thought it was the coolest thing. And yeah, so first of all, I want to thank AutoZone. They've been a huge help to my business here, and they donated, like I said, way back when, for the maintenance portion of the community car build. They donated all kinds of stuff. All the fluids, transmission fluid, coolant, oil, the filter, they plugs, some wires. They donated quite a bit to the car, and I want to thank those guys for support. Of course, Ammo Automotive, Aiden, he runs Ammo Automotive. He detailed the car. You guys all saw it, at least the pictures. And man, it looked so good after that detailing. I really wanted to keep it. I couldn't, but it looked so good, especially the wheels. He made that chrome pop, and it looked perfectly period correct for the 90s. And speaking of the wheels, Andy Ferrara, a good friend of mine from Erie, PA, he actually donated that set of wheels and tires to the build. Can't thank him enough for that. And the same goes for Chris Moeller, who donated the subwoofer. It's really neat to have guys come together and kind of like donate parts and stuff to the build and kind of turn it into what it was. So thank you all so much, and it really meant a lot to me. So let's get into it. Wingman Garage Treasure Hunt. I've got the map and clues here. Just to recap, everybody who participated in buying a map all got the map at the same time on that Sunday morning, about 10 minutes to 11-ish. I sent them all out in a mass blast email, so there was no advantage to anybody. And the map reads, if you find the keys, give me a call, say the special phrase, and give it to the email. In the email, if you remember, I had been using, find the keys, keep the car for quite some time as kind of like the hype up, find the keys, keep the car, as we promoted it. And so the special phrase was pretty simple. I found the keys, I keep the car. And Vince said that as soon as he called me when he found them, when he got there. So, and then at the top it also says, like all great treasure maps, this one has secrets, but X does mark the spot. Now, I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to try and get this up on the site maybe, so if you want to check it out, you can. But there's an X here on the map. So X does mark the spot, but like I said, this map does have secrets. So let's get into the clues. Clue number 1. Sebastian Vettel has how many Formula One titles? And the answer to that is 4. Clue number 2. The 1898 Phoenix was the first vehicle to have this many cylinders. The answer to that is 4. Clue 3, hitting the scene in the 1990s, this generation of onboard diagnostics changed our interaction with vehicles. That would be 2, ODB 2, onboard diagnostics 2. 1 and 1.5 were good. ODB2 really kind of changed the game when it came to interacting with our vehicles and talking to them. So yeah, so you got 442 so far. Clue number 4, 1990 blank was the only year that this generation of the Eclipse, the community car Eclipse, was on sale at the same time as the Supra, the 300ZX, the 240SX, and the RX-7 in the US. And you had to do some research unless you really know your JDM vehicles. But the answer to that would be 5. 1995 was the only year all those cars overlapped sales here in the US. And clue number 5 was in 2013 we saw this iteration of a fast-paced automotive franchise. Now, I don't know about you guys, but the only automotive franchise I know is Fast and Furious. So in 2013, the 6th movie in the franchise came out. So those 5 clues gave you 44256, which is an area code, and that tells you that the keys are somewhere in Medina. I told everybody, from the beginning, the treasure hunt, somewhere in Northeast Ohio, right? So, and the clues and the riddle were helping narrow that down so it was easier for you to figure things out. So now you know, if you got them all, 44256, okay, so it's in Medina. The riddle reads as such. Well, let me go over the map first, because I like the riddle. So the map, obviously I couldn't just leave the map as Medina County, because you know exactly where everything was. You know, like, okay, there's Route 18, there's 77, there's 271. So what I did was, I flipped the map over and then inverted it, right? So even if you knew that this county line right here was Medina, it wouldn't look right in your mind because usually they're at the top, at the top north. Looking at a map of, the Ohio counties, so that would throw you off. And like I said, this, like all treasure maps, this map has secrets, and that was so it was a little bit easier or a little bit harder for you to figure out where exactly the keys were. Because if I just gave you a map and put an X on it, you'd easily know. Next year, I don't know if I'm going to do a map because some of you said it was super easy, and some of you guys said it was super hard. So I don't know what to do, but we'll see. Anyway, so that's the secrets of the map. So you basically flip it over, and if you inverted it, you'd see, boom. You can kind of see it. You can kind of see through the paper. You'd see that's right where it's at. So there you go. And then the riddle. So the riddle is as such. Inside and outside depends on the season. Enter to the right for this reason. Now you all know that the keys were high voltage karting in Medina. So inside and outside depends on the season. Depending on the season, you are racing inside and outside. Not either or, but could be both. And you enter to the right because the left entrance is Foundry Social and the right entrance is high voltage karting. And you enter to the right for that reason. It's because you're inside and outside. Now, second verse. If you find yourself at a bar, you've gone too far. So let's say you go into high voltage and you just, you're looking around and you go left, okay? And you go all the way around, where their counters are, and you get to the bar that's right on the threshold of high voltage in the Foundry. So if you get to the bar, you've gone too far. And then the last verse, and this is what really takes the cake, because I guess it was too easy, but if you got this far, you probably figured it out. The keys to your ride rest where this yellow machine reside. So the yellow machine, as you all saw in the post, is the yellow NASCAR that they have in the lobby at high voltage. And I simply hung the keys off of the passenger side mirror or window frame so that if you walked up to it, you would see the keys hanging there. And yeah, that was it. Now that I go through it, sure, was it easy? I don't know. It took 50 minutes for the first person to figure it out and get there. So, and we're going to hear from Vince in a minute. I actually have some recording with him. But it was really neat to hear the feedback. I had people messaging me and calling me from, they were at a school bus location. Some people were at there was a dump truck and a big yellow dump truck. One of my customers even said he was at Home Depot and people were around his car, and he's got a yellow car. So they thought that he was the car, or he was the yellow machine, which I thought was pretty funny. But the fact that so many different people came up with different things really makes me believe that the hard work we put into making all this paid off. So yeah, I thought it was a blast. And like I said before, you guys would be really, it's not easy doing something like this to make it easy, but also hard. But you know, you wanted someone to find it, but you don't want them to find it too fast. And maybe an hour was too fast. I don't know. Anyway, so I have a quick video I'm gonna put in of me waiting at high voltage karting. I'm gonna throw that in right now.
What's up, guys? Aaron here, Wingman Garage. I am where the keys are at. If you've gotten this far in the video, you know then that they were at high voltage karting here in Medina. Super pumped that these guys wanted to help out, and I don't know, I'm waiting. It's 11:09. I hope nobody gets it that quick. I'll feel awful, but yeah, we'll see what happens.
It was a blast, honestly. It was really fun, and what was really neat was Vince and his wife got there first. They did the whole thing. About 2 minutes later, another couple showed up. I so apologize, I don't remember their names, but they were in a black Focus ST, I believe. And then every few minutes, more and more people were showing up. So like everybody was kind of getting it, and I stayed there for about 2 hours, just saying hi to people and shaking hands and gathering all the positive feedback. It was really fun. It was really fun. I know a bunch of people stayed and did some karting, and then went over to Foundry Social and had some drinks and did some bowling and stuff and some cool things. So it was pretty neat. So anyway, so Vince and his wife, they were shaking. You know, they could not believe that they were the ones that got it. And Vince is a great guy. They're about an hour away in Warren. We're actually going to hear from him right now. I've got a small video I shot with him when they picked up the car about his strategy, which I thought was pretty cool because they were already here waiting for the map because they didn't know where to go. They had put so much thought into this. Vince is a little shy on camera, but you'll see. All right, so you were the first to find the keys. Give me a little bit of background on your strategy, how what you thought of the hunt. Just lay it on me.
The strategy was, we're from Warren, Ohio, so we were planning on leaving a little early, heading towards the Akron area, because no one ever brings stuff out there our way.
Right.
Is what it is. So we got the email, me and my wife were in the car, she started reviewing the clues, started seeing all the numbers come out. I do a lot of traveling, so I noticed it kind of looked like an Ohio zip code, and that was it. We tied the clues with the high voltage because I've been there, a few times, and tied the clues with that, and then the zip code matched the high voltage, and that was it. The rest of the time was just driving.
Nice.
Anxiety driving. Down
I remember
77.
when you guys got there. You guys were all shaking, and it was really cool. I was really happy for you guys.
Yeah, it was really fun. She had a great time. I had a great time. So now she gets to go drive around in that.
Yeah. I think she's going to enjoy it.
I do too, for sure.
We had a lot of fun building it. I know a lot of people helped us with the community car build, putting all the parts on it and everything. And I'm excited. I'm excited for you guys. It's going to be neat to see what happens to this car over the next few years.
It'll be around, that's for sure.
Awesome. Thanks, Vince. So there you go. Pretty cool. Like I said, I'm super pumped for Vince. He seems like a nice guy. He was really excited to drive it home. He and his buddy came in an E30 convertible that was on air, and they got it home and drove it home an hour, got there, and so that was pretty neat. He also dropped this on me, which I'm sure you guys saw. All right, guys, Aaron here with Wingman Garage again. Vince and Ethan, they're getting ready to take off, and Vince dropped this on me. He wants to take the 4-hour gift certificate that was in the Wingman merch package in the car, and he wants to donate it back to somebody who participated in the treasure hunt but didn't find the keys. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna double it. So there's gonna be 2 4-hour vouchers gonna be available, and I'm gonna pick 2 names out of the people who bought maps, and we're gonna give you those hours. Stay tuned for a video on that. Huge thank you to Vince for doing this. That's really badass of him. And yeah, man, appreciate it. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Again, huge thank you to Vince for doing that. I did call the 2 winners. I pulled the names last Friday, and did a video about that too. And they're super pumped to have a couple hours here at Wingman. So anyway, to wrap everything up, I think the community car building treasure hunt exceeded my expectations this year. Didn't sell as many maps as I hoped, but that's business. You win some and you lose some. But that aside, I think the amount of fun that everybody was having, and that made it all worth it. The content for the garage and for the business, and to help help let people know what we're doing here and whatnot is really made it all worth it. So I really hope to do it again next year. I've actually got my eye on a few different vehicles. I won't give you any hints yet. As you guys might have figured out, I kind of like to do some surprise things. And but I've got my eye on a few different vehicles, and I want to hopefully change things up year after year. I would really love this to be a Wingman staple, you know, for whether it's this location or my other locations coming up. I'd like the community car build and treasure hunt to be a Wingman thing. I think it'd be really neat for everybody to have the opportunity to do something like this every year. So thank you all again for participating and supporting the business. As I said before, we're new, we're trying, we're getting there, and it's been really neat to be able to do fun things like the community car build and treasure hunt for the community and for the enthusiasts in this area. So I hope everybody has a great holiday. Thanksgiving, Christmas, have a great New Year, everybody be safe. I'm working on some cool things for 2023. There's some things I didn't get to do this year that I want to definitely do next year. So everybody have a good one. If you ever need something, Wingman's here for you. And yeah, stay tuned for another announcement for 2023's Community Car Build and Treasure Hunt. Thanks.